Last time we made this fisheye artwork, but now we're turning it into a full animation for Spotify and Apple Music. We're gonna make 3 different levels of animation from beginner to pro, and we're gonna learn a new technique in each one. I'll go through all the Blender settings and the animation controls that I'm using so you can recreate these exact animations yourself. So starting with the level 1, the beginner animation, we're gonna create a cool 360 camera rotation. So here in Blender, I'm gonna go to the top right corner and split our view into 2 portions. For the bottom one, we can change it into dope sheet, which we'll use for animation. And the upper window, we can keep it as it is and use it as our viewport. Now, I'm gonna press the B key to select all the text, and the middle mouse button can be used to deselect all the extra things. Press Shift T to duplicate it and put it behind our camera here. As you can see, a cool shape is formed around the edges of our fisheye lens here, and we can just use the camera to rotate around it to create our animation. Also, we can rotate the text again by pressing RZ180 to be facing each other on the front and the back of the camera. Also, I added some extra lighting to brighten up the text behind the camera, and we can change the material on this as well to differentiate it from the front text. Now let's go over some basic settings for animation. With the camera selected, we're gonna press I key to add the first keyframe, and this will be the starting point of the animation. Also make sure this arrow button is turned off so you can see all your keyframes. Now in the output, we can find some extra settings related to our animation. The frame start or end setting can be used to change the ending and starting of our animation, and also the FPS can be changed here. To create a base for canvas animations, we need to know that Spotify can have maximum of 8 seconds, and on the other hand, Apple needs a minimum of 8-second animation. So with that in mind, we can create a 24 FPS timeline for 8 seconds, and it gives us 192 frames. This can be changed at any time to increase or decrease the duration, and you can find those same settings down here as well. So now, to create the animation, I'm gonna go around the 96th frame in our timeline and make sure the camera is selected. In the viewport, we can press N key to open the transform settings, and the one we're gonna use is the Z rotation. So click the Z rotation and add plus 360 in it and press enter here. Now, we can hide the side panel by pressing N and using the I key to add a keyframe. Now if we play the animation, we can see the camera is rotating 360. We can slow down the animation by keeping the keyframes far apart or bring them together to make the animation look faster. Now to make it look better, we can select both these keyframes, press the T key and change the interpolation to linear. This will make the camera go in 360 without changing its speed. So now to finish our first animation, we can change the end frame to be 96, and this will make our animation loop perfectly as well. Now let's start with the level 2 intermediate area, which is a RoboCam style animation. So for this, the camera is gonna move around while looking at one focus point. So to create that focus point, we're gonna press Shift A, go to empty and add a plane axis. This will act as our focus point for the camera. And I'm gonna press the G key to bring it roughly in the center of our text here. To bind the camera to this empty, we're gonna select the camera and go to the constraints, and we can add a track 2 constraint to our camera, changing the target object to be the empty, and this will make the camera connected to the empty. If I press the G key and move the camera, you can see it's focused on one single area wherever this empty is looking. Similarly, we can select the empty and move it around, and this will be the focus area of our camera. So with the camera selected, I'm gonna press I to create our first keyframe, which is our starting point for the animation. Then we can move 30 to 40 frames ahead in the timeline, and then press the G key to find another cool angle for our camera. Once you're happy with the angle, press the I key again to add the keyframe, and as you can see, it's moving from the first angle to the second one. Similarly, we can select the empty also and add keyframes for it as well. For example, in the second angle, I'm changing the location of our empty here to create a nice central view of the second angle and add another keyframe for our empty. So repeating this process, I'm gonna press G key on our camera, find a cool angle, and then move the empty to fine tune that angle again. And then we can just select the camera and the empty together to add the keyframe. If I play the animation, it's going from one angle to another, creating a cool animation. We can increase the timeline by changing the end frame and then repeat the process again, creating some more different angles. To create a looping animation, we can just select the first keyframes that we created, press Shift D and use them as the last keyframe as well, and this will create a perfectly looping animation. If I play the animation here, you can see it's looping perfectly. To make it look better, we can make use of the graph editor to fine-tune our motion. In the graph editor also, make sure the arrow button is turned off. But the easier way to switch between both is to just press Ctrl Tab and it will automatically switch. So with this keyframe selector, I'm gonna scale it on the x-axis by pressing X and increase it a little bit. We can do the same on the other keyframes here as well to create a easy ease animation. If I play the animation now, you can see the camera is moving quickly between the angles, creating the RoboCam effect. Now just repeat this process of creating the easy ease animation on each keyframe and our level 2 animation will be complete. Now let's create the level 3 pro level animation with our camera going around the text. So here with the camera selected, we can press I to create our first frame where the animation will start. Now we can move 70 to 80 frames ahead and then bring our camera behind the text that we have created by pressing G. Now we can rotate it by pressing RZ180 to be facing towards the back of the text and adjust it a little to get a nice angle. Pressing I will create a keyframe and now our text is going from front to the back. Now if I go to the frame in the middle of the animation, we can see the camera is looking towards the left of our text here, and I can just move it on the left by pressing the G key and adjust it a little, and we can press I again to create the left side keyframe. Now our camera is moving from the front to the left and then to the back. Similarly, we can go 30 to 40 frames ahead again and bring the camera to the right of our text. We can use the side panel also to rotate the camera and face it towards the right side of our text and press I for the keyframe. Now finally, to create the last keyframe, we can just select the first one and press Shift D to duplicate it and use it as the last keyframe. If you play the animation, you can see it's glitching a little and rotating the wrong way. So to fix that, all we have to do is go to that last keyframe that we created, open that side end panel again and just minus 360 degrees from the Z rotation. This is because the previous keyframe is in negative, so we're gonna create this last keyframe in negative value as well. And now if I move the animation, you can see it's moving perfectly. Now to make it look better, we can make use of the graph editor like we did in level 2. I'm gonna select the middle keyframe here and press X to increase the value again. We can repeat this same process for the first keyframe, increasing the easing a little bit, and the last keyframe as well. Now for the middle ones, this is a new thing that we can add here. By pressing the V key, we can change the keyframe handle to automatic. This creates a smooth motion between the different keyframes. I'm gonna change it on this other middle keyframe as well and change it to automatic. If we go to the graph editor, you can see normally it's a linear line, but with automatic it's creating a nice motion between the different keyframes. And this completes our level 3 pro animation. Now finally, we can talk about the render setting and other important info. In the render setting, I'm using 120 samples and using a denoiser as well set to GPU. One main option to keep in mind is turn on the motion blur. In the output setting, you can change the resolution of your animation as well. One issue for our fisheye lens effect is that it's gonna distort when we change the resolution. So a simple fix for this is to render out our square animation and just create a 9:16 sequence in Premiere Pro, and we can just drag drop our square animation into it and selecting keep sequence setting. Now we can just scale it down a little bit, so this will create a 9:16 animation using a square output. Besides that, we went through the FPS and the frame range options already. I'm using the video instead of image output, but you can use image as well. I'm using MP4 with the video codec set to H.264, and also make sure to change the quality to perceptually lossless. Finally, after all these settings are done, you can just do render animation and our animation will be done. I'll link this page which contains all the detailed info related to the Spotify canvas, which you can check it out. And also Apple Music has its own motion guidelines where we need to create 2 different sizes of output for Apple Music. And this completes our tutorial. So if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe.